through them like Pyrex. Glock 9, 230s right by the Pyrex. And a 25 strap with my thigh at. They ain't teach us about credit, nah, that ain't how we grew up. Or how the original.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy B-Dale. Today I'm going to give a metaphysical and a theological breakdown of the movie Don't Look Up, and how synonymous to the signs of the end times, which is eschatology, which is the precursor in the symbology of a new heaven and a new earth, which equates to the prelude of earth operating in the fifth dimensional frequency. And we're also going to be talking about different geographical landmasses that's beyond the ice walls of Antarctica. But in order to understand the reality of this brief synopsis, you have to understand that it's universal, cosmic, and galactic law that they have to put the truth in these movies through signs and symbols, because signs and symbols manipulate the subconscious mind, because the perception of art imitates reality, right? So you pretty much already have full disclosure when you're talking about everything in these movies. They gave you the reality of extraterrestrials. They gave you the reality of the Anunnaki. They gave you the reality of desolation and pestilence that's going to be propagated on the planet, because the CIA has an office in Hollywood and Hollywood has an office in the CIA. So everything that you see in these movies is actually real, but a lot of dumbass people, they pass it off as entertainment, because the totalitarian governments, the people who run the system, they have to put the truth in these movies, because it's called the law of return. It's a ritual that they do to where they can balance out their karma by trying to deviate from judgment by everything that they cause to the planet. Now, when you're talking about the planet Earth being a hologram, one thing I need you to understand about the movie, there's a comet, that's being projected to the planet, but that comet is basically the personification of the mothership, which is Nibiru, that's being projected to the planet. When you're talking about a new heaven and a new earth, when you're talking about Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, right? So I'm going to go on my screen share here. We're going to go here. So when you're talking about the earth being a hologram, the matrix in itself, this is not the real earth. The real earth is actually the comet, which is Nibiru, that's being projected on the planet in the movie. So the electrical grid nodes is being controlled by 7 energy centers on planet Earth, which is in the geographical location of America. So you got St. Louis, you got Chicago, you got Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, not Baltimore, but Philly and Boston. And those are the 7 energy centers that's in alignment with the Sirius star system and the Big Dipper star constellation. Because when you break down the etymological roots of the word Big Dipper, in Sanskrit, it means Moina. Moina means more. So when you actually looking at the land of Mu, so those who control, that geographical landmass in those 7 energy centers that controls the electrical grid nodes of the planet, that controls the artificial matrix through the aristocracy that's controlled by the Wall Street conglomerate corporations. This is what controls the whole paradigm of society through the Food and Drug Administration, that propagates these microscopic nanotechnology and these particles and these metals that basically germinate your body, right? To where, you're operating outside of your spiritual capacity, because you're being mentally and physically subjugated, right, by these nanotechnologies. Because this is why in those 7 energy centers, they use frequency modification weapons and weather modification tools to control humanity in a holographic system, right? So, like I said, when you're talking about the 19th galaxy, the fifth dimension, which is the personification of a new heaven, that's the real earth that's being projected to the planet. So when you're talking about, this is what it would look like. Let me find it. This is how it would look. This is, so when you're talking about that asteroid, that comet that's being projected to the planet, this is actually what you're looking at. You having holographic Earth merging in with the real Earth. So that's why when everything collided together in the movie, you will see that, it was new intrinsic metals that was germinating the planet. You had new plant life, you had new animals, you had new everything. So that is basically the personification of, a new heaven and a new earth, because the earth that we living in right now is basically the artificial construct of mankind, right? So I'm going to go back to that picture. So there's a book that you got to get because when I was saying that, those 7 energy centers that control the electrical grid nodes of the planet is basically in alignment with the Big Dipper star constellation, which means Moena in Sanskrit, which means more, land of Lemuria, the lost continent of Mu. So this is why you got to get this book right here. So this book right here, it says America is the true old world, Mu discovered. So you got the Temple of Shiva, the Temple of Isis, and the Cheops Pyramid. So when you control those 7 energy centers in the geographical landmass of America, you pretty much control the world through the aristocracy system, which is connected to Wall Street, like I said, because Wall Street is what, amplifies the matrix. So please get this book right here. It's a lot of gems in this book. And so also when you're talking about, let's see. Okay. So when you're talking about the beast, the asteroid that's being projected to the planet, right? I need y'all to look at the emulations and the art, the artwork in at the Denver airport. A pale horse is basically the symbology of the fall of the beast, the vitality of the beast, right? So then when you look at the other, artwork inside the Denver airport, it is show you that it's nothing but pestilence, nothing but desolation. So when you see the leopard right here, that is basically the personification of the Canaanites, the cursed seed, who is actually the Jebusites, who is the fake Jews. And the fake Jews are the ones who control the world. So this is when you got the beast, because the Canaanites were cursed with leprosy. So that's basically the symbology of it right here. So then you, like I said, then you got the phoenix rising from the ashes, from a new heaven and a new earth, right? And then, like I said, then you got the so-called blacks, who are the real Native Americans, the Moors, the Lemurians, in the bottom right here. But I don't want to go too far deep into it because it's gonna deviate from the message of the movie. So reason, they showing these different types of artworks, that's these murals and stuff that's inside the Denver airport, because the Denver airport is basically a bunker. So when you're talking about the elite in the movie, the elite, what they was doing was, like I said, they was trying to escape judgment. So you're going to have some of the elite that run the planet. Some of them going to go in underground bunkers that's inside the Denver airport, or some of them is going to escape to Mars, which is why when you go over here, let me see, you're talking about Elon Musk, right? You got Elon Musk. When he was talking about, he promised to send 1 million people to Mars by 2050. What I'm saying? Like, all this speaks for itself, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the elite are trying to escape judgment, which is why when you look at the movie, on the poster of the movie, Don't Look Up, it says it's based on real life events. So like I said, it's universal law that they got to tell you the truth in these movies. So snapshot this, screenshot it, whatever, because like I said, it's basically, an emulation of what's going to happen in the future. So now when you go back to the mural inside the Denver airport, and when you're talking about the beast, the curse with leprosy, the Canaanites, who are the Jebusites, who are the fake Jews, the beasts in the Bible, who control the matrix. This is why Dr. York put this, picture up. It's a, it's a 7-headed beast. And like I said, there's the leopard right there, right? Because the beast in its system is being controlled. It controls the matrix through five occultic principles, which is politics, the prison system, psychology, polytheism, and philosophy. And those are the 5 things that control the the paradigm of the matrix, of the holographic world. So the elite, by what they do is through mass deception, like I said, they trying to escape the planet, because of all the desolation and all the, the tyranny that they caused on the planet to humanity. So So now we're gonna go to a movie clip. I'm gonna show you some of the movie clips. Now you notice that the polar bear was right there. So when you see the ice caps of Antarctica starting to melt, this is where, you know, different, you know, types of land masses that's going to come and merge in back with the United States, or the land of Mu. Like you got Atlantis, and you got, you know, all types of land masses that's beyond the ice walls of Antarctica. You got the land of Thoth, you got the land of Ya. You got all types of different geographical locations that's outside the ice walls. So that's why when you have a new heaven and a new earth, right, that is basically going to be the progenitors of new life, new animals, new everything on the planet. Another thing I like to reiterate, when you're looking at this movie, I'm not saying, you know, it's going to be a direct correspondence to what's going to, you know, what's going to happen in the future. But there, you know, once the mothership enters this solar system in 2022, you know, the electromagnetic frequency of Nibiru is going to raise up the frequency of the planet. So those who are basically living on the shorelines, a lot of that land mass is going to be underwater. So like I said, it's best for you to move inland so you won't be, you know, embark upon all types of, you know, cataclysms that's going to happen on the planet once the mothership Nibiru entered this solar system and, you know, raise planet Earth to a fifth dimensional frequency.
Definitely got some more sample black. It's so good.
Oh, it's actually store-bought, but you really can't tell.
If I'm to be completely honest, which at this moment, why not? I actually like the junky taste of store-bought better than homemade.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No.
Kidding.
Like, I know what it means. It's like a childhood memory thing.
So the comet that you actually seen in this movie, that is basically Nibiru, the mothership coming from the 19th galaxy, the fifth dimension. So I need you to understand something. The 19 is very prevalent when you're talking about esoteric, you know, numerology and Vedic numerology and things of that nature, because the 1 represents alpha and the 9 represents omega, because 9 is the highest number in the galaxy, because every other number after 9 is a numerical component. So the same way the earth was created is going to be the same way as it was basically destroyed once it collides in with the new earth. I mean, with the real earth, which is Nibiru. So that is basically the personification and the science behind the number 19. And also, when you're talking about the number 19, what you also got to understand is when you're talking about the Bermuda Triangle, which is basically the landmass where Atlantis was basically at, because Atlantis was connected to the land of Mu, which is America, because, you know, Atlantis, that energy vortex opens up 19 times a year. Again, the number 19, right? Because that energy vortex is being powered by a crystal that's made of volamite that contains orgone energy. So that's why when you break down the etymological roots of the word Atlantis in the cuneiform language, it means black womb, right? The black woman, right? So also, let me go on this side over here. Well, also, one thing you got to understand, I also want to show you the picture of what a mothership is. It has 19 solar panels on them as well. So this is basically a diagram. So This is also, you know, an emulation of, you know, Nibiru being the red sun, which is Shamish. Because like I said, we come from the 19th galaxy, which is the fifth dimension, and you come from a tri-solar system. You got a red sun, a blue sun, and a yellow sun. And Nibiru is actually the red sun that contains extensive, massive solar radiation, right? So now I'm going to show you another movie clip at the end of the movie. Now this is going to be crazy. Let me see. So it shows you right here in the spaceship, once the world was in the form of desolation, all the elite was in the form of cryostasis. They was freezed up until they landed on New Earth. They